friends from the comic and manga world. My name is Hector,
And my name is G.
and we're here to talk to you about our picks for the March 28th, 2022 FOC. Now, if you don't know, G and I work for Penguin Random House. We manage the sales into the direct market, the direct comic market around the world. So the titles that we're going to talk about are from those imprints and publishers that we can sell into that market. Okay, so let's get started. First up is T's pick.
Yes, it's my pick. It's Mapmakers and the Lost Magic. This is created by Cameron Chittick and Amanda Castillo. And this goes on sale April 26th. And this is from RH Graphics. And I was drawn in by this. I like these type of stories always. It's like an immediate buy for me. But this one is about Aladade who wants to leave the valley. And the valley is their home, but the valley has overlords who prevent its people from leaving, and it surveillances them as well. And so all Aladade wants to do is escape, but at someday, like one day, they come across this magical door, and it's a magical door for map makers, but map makers are no longer really people. There aren't any people who are doing it anymore, and so Aladade has a choice to make: either escape, like they had planned on, or try to become a map maker to save their people, their home, their valley. And so it's the journey that this character goes through. And I mean, again, I love these kind of. I really appreciate when it is kind of like it's very much a serious topic, right? When you think about an oppressive society and escaping from that. But I like when they do that with like younger characters.
Yeah.
It's just there are several books that are comic books that I enjoy that has that premise, and this speaks to me. So
Yeah, and I mean, it attracts me to when it's a story of. I mean, it doesn't seem like obviously it's not our past. It's not the real world's past. It's an alternate world, but it's set up very similar to our world. It's just touches of magic. Number one, which I love that. Not just going full fantasy, but on top of that, that it's that the adventure has to do with very simple things. And I look at these type of stories, and you look at the some of these images, and you see what the world is like, and you say, well, you know what will ruin this? An iPhone. If you have a phone, a cell phone or a computer in this world, it would ruin it completely, and the main character wouldn't want to go on adventures because there would be playing. So I love the simple life, and there's adventure within that simple life, which I think I always like history in general. So I feel like that's how it was in the past. I know it wasn't like that. I mean, I know there was a lot of disease and you know and war and crime, but still, I feel like that's the way it should be.
I also like that the premise is this character who doesn't know what it's like to go beyond the borders
Yeah,
of the village or the
yeah.
valley,
That
and
feels
yet
trapped.
encounters a map which
Yeah.
doesn't take them places, but it shows them that there is
Hmm.
more to beyond,
Yeah.
basically. It's a great premise. So
Yeah. I definitely gonna read this one too.
yeah.
Yep. Okay. So next one is my pick. Headhunted to Another World from Salaryman to Big Four, Volume 3 by Benny Gashira and illustrated by Muramitsu. This goes on sale May 24th. It's $12.99 for 7 Cs. This is, I mean, I love this kind of uh, manga. It's isekai, but I also especially like that recently they've been in a lot of these where the story of this one is this executive salaryman, that it's transported by a demon lord into another world so he can become one of his four sort of generals,
Mhm.
and he can help his army overcome the world. And of course, he uses his smarts and his experience as an executive and his organizational skills. And so there's been a few of those now. And in this one, I think it's going to be like that. And it uses a lot of that humor of what if we take our skills from our world and use them into another world, which is ridiculous, obviously, because we will get killed. Like an executive in that kind of world will get killed in 2 seconds. But I love it. I love that I can relate to that. I love the covers. I This is volume 1, and that's the cover and some of the interior images, and obviously very extreme facial expressions, which we always love. I
The
love that.
Office from Hell.
Yeah, I was gonna say The Office from Hell. Like the quotes in the back of all the books looks amazing too. But not only that, so you see this character. I don't know the name of the character, the girl, but the woman. But she is, I guess he meets her in the first volume. And I don't know if you noticed in the previous slide, but I'm gonna try to highlight it in
I
this one. I
saw
don't know
it.
if you saw the little
I
face
know, I know,
on
I
the
know what you're
right
talking about. I know
corner.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, look at the library next to them on the left.
Yeah.
She's like on around the corner looking, peeking at them. So those little details you gotta love too. So apparently she's either jealous or something because
Yeah.
he's with somebody else. And then look at the quotes on the end on the back. Diabolical
Like
stretch goals, and it's
business. Like
crunch time.
it fits with the Salaryman.
Exactly. It's very
Yeah.
business but diabolical. So so I love this. I definitely gonna read this. This is right up my alley. This is like my guilty pleasure is reading all these really silly isekais. So, and then next we're gonna go through Marvel covers that we love from this week. First, oh no, sorry, you have
You
another
missed
manga.
out on My Dress of Darling, Volume
Sorry, I
5.
forgot you have another manga coming. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So this is by Shinichi Fukuda, and this goes on sale April 26th. And I had to talk about this because everyone's talking about My
Yeah.
Dress of Darling on the internet because of the anime that is still on it, I think it's still ongoing at this
I think
point.
so.
I need to
Yeah.
catch up. But I really like the concept of Goju, who is a doll artisan who's very passionate about doll making. And it's like he's embarrassed by it and he just
Mhm.
keeps that hobby secret. And then a totally opposite person who you have, Kitagara, who is beautiful, popular, has lots of friends, is trendy, and never imagined that that she would also be passionate about her own hobbies in a similar but dissimilar way, where she's into cosplay. So they come together because they're passionate about their own creative outlets, and they become good friends,
Yeah.
perhaps more. So I really enjoyed this. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's actually, at first, I thought it was, it was just light and fluffy and fun, but there are moments where it gets like really serious and to the heart of things, and you can see the stresses and strains that they go through, and how ultimately they discover that at the end of the day they enjoy what they create, how that has an impact on other people who are taking in their like art basically.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah.
and then there's also plays a lot on the fact that they're very extreme personalities. Like
Oh yeah.
he is beyond shy, beyond really antisocial in a way because he's even in classrooms he's like, oh, they're looking my way. No, they're not even looking my way. Oh, they're talking to, no, they're not even talking to me. I'm fine, I'm good, I don't need to talk to anybody, that kind of thing. And she is the complete opposite. Like you said, she has lots of friends, but they find that they have a common sort of a connection with
Mhm.
their interests, and they can help each other because he wants to create more, and she's awful at creating
Oh
cosplay
yeah.
costumes,
Yeah, she's
but she
awful at it.
loves it so much,
Mhm.
and that connection sort of breaks both of their personality because it's not just about him not being shy anymore; it's also about her being more real too, which is great. Um, and it's one of those things where you don't expect to, which I love about manga and anime, where you find amazing stories, amazing drama within what on the surface looks like a very simple, very straightforward story.
And like I like the cosplay aspect because I'm not a cosplayer at all, but I learned a lot from it. Like
Mhm.
he makes mistakes. Like and I'm thinking about the anime at this point. I want to go back and read the manga, but like he doesn't consider the fabric and the
Yeah.
material how it might be too hot in like when you're cosplaying all day. Like because he's not a cosplayer
No,
himself, so
because
he wouldn't
he
know
doesn't
that
draw.
unless yeah, yeah. So like
Yeah.
they learn from the mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes the mistakes turn out to be good, but it's just very interesting
Yeah.
to read and watch about. So
Yes. Yes. Uh, I am a cosplayer. No, I have cosplayed in the
you
past,
have
but
cosplayed.
that's a talk for another video. Okay. Next. Oh, sorry, I forgot to share
Oh, we're so excited.
the covers. We're so excited. So yeah, here are all the covers 1 through 5. 5 is still, yeah, we still don't have the final English one, but you can see some of the characters and people who read manga and watch anime will recognize some of these characters, which we were talking about it earlier. So it's like they don't mention, at least not on the anime, who they are,
Yeah.
but you know who they are, you know the characters.
Yeah, yeah.
So next, now we're gonna look at Marvel covers. So the first pick, one of my favorites for this week is Moon Knight, Black, White, and Bold. This is the main cover by Bill Sienkiewicz. Sienkiewicz? Sorry if I mispronounced that. Um, and I love this cover. I love the concept of Black, White, and Bold, but I think this is the first time. I'm trying to think, but yeah, I think it is the first time where white is the color of the character, which it's very rare for any character in general. I feel it gives a different dimension to these comics. Like we have Elektra, we have Deadpool, we have Wolverine, and this guy Black, White, and Bold with blood, which is nothing to do with his costume. The red comes from the blood, probably. Um, but this is beautiful art. I love how it incorporates the moon because I always love Moon Knight covers when artists look to very creative ways to incorporate the moon,
Mhm.
especially with his cape. And it's very gruesome and it's very like blood dripping out of his hand and everything. But at the same time, I gotta say it's beautiful,
Mhm.
even though it's so horrible at the same time.
Mhm.
I love this cover. Next is yours pick.
But yes, we have Immortal X-Men issue number 2. This is the Carrie Andrews Spider-Man variant. And the reason why I was drawn to it, and I told Hector this, is it reminded me of the transformation that magical girls in anime have with like the webbing here, like forming
Yeah.
right where her like chest and corset is. And I don't know, it's very beautiful of an
It is.
image, and it struck out to me. I also, we mentioned this earlier as well, the background, because is very simple, but it looks like a blueprint of the city, and I just like how clean it is.
Yeah.
Like there doesn't it doesn't have to be busy because the
Mhm.
forefront of the figure just it stands out a lot. So I really enjoy.
Yeah, I really enjoyed. We talked about a couple of these Spider-Man variants that come out. Like I talked about this Strange 2 and I think it was Black Panther 5 or 6. But I love that the artists not only take the whole concept and make it their own, but also how they that you can envision the version of this character, this is Emma Frost, as Spider-Man. They wouldn't just wear, like some of them will wear just Spider-Man costume, but this is more than that. This is beyond that. This is her making the Spider-Man. If she was Spider-Man, because of her personality too, this is what her costume would be.
Mhm,
And that's fine. That's great.
mhm.
I like it too. Next up is Iron Man 19, One Cabal Stormbreaker's variant. I love this cover. I love One Cabal, and the art is beautiful, but it's beyond that. The concept is so awesome. The concept of Tony, you know, it's sort of like Tony Stark is really the suit, like, and Iron Man is inside. We see that a lot when they talk about Batman versus, Bruce Wayne, or Superman Clark Kent, or even Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and how their personalities and their vision. But yeah, with Tony, yeah, it's such a it speaks to a lot, and for people who've read Iron Man before, this says a lot. This shows a lot about what Tony Stark is and has been. That he's Iron Man inside.
Mhm.
So this is great. Next, it's also my pick, but I think this is both of our picks.
Oh yeah,
Ghost Rider #3, Peach Momoko Stormbreaker's variant. Uh, what can we say? It's just stunning.
yeah,
It's such a beautiful art. It's also very horror, like with all the skulls, the chain. You can see the chain, and I mean
yeah,
all the details that she put onto this. The bike in the back, and then the contrast of almost everything being so dark and gray, but then uh, the fire kind of from his head in the bike shining on.
yeah.
This is yeah,
It's just
just
beautiful.
amazing. It's so
Mhm.
beautiful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So those are our picks for this week, and then we always end up with, a little bit of news. And this week, we had the announcement from sorry, it was Seven Seas. Yes,
The
sorry.
Seven Seas, yeah.
Had to think about it for a second. And this is that they licensed Ramen Wolf and Curry Tiger. We're gonna get this English translation in August. This is by Emboss. And this looks amazing, and the
Mhm.
story is really cool. I think you say it, but you tell the story better than I do. I was a
Yeah,
little bit confused
so
by when I read it, but you got the clear idea of it.
I like the concept of like these two, the wolf and the tiger, approach food in a different way. Like the chubby wolf really lives to enjoy food, whereas the tiger just really uses it for sustenance.
Yeah,
And so it's about like this wolf trying to like um teach the tiger that, you could really like enjoy what you're eating and actually like savor it.
yeah,
And it sounds wholesome. It's I like this kind of story. Like I just
yeah,
like when like just two guys hang out, I guess, and they just bond over food.
yeah,
And I also like the illustration here because the wolf is like turning the corners of the like trying to make the tiger smile.
yeah, yeah,
And then like the tiger is like
yeah,
pushing his chubby cheeks. It's adorable. I'm excited for this.
yeah. And I like all good food mangas. I hope it has like great recipes, because they,
Oh yeah.
love that
Yeah.
part too of having a lot of recipes. And you learn a lot, and it makes you really hungry as you're reading, which is great too.
Mhm, mhm.
So, and that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching this. As always, I have to mention that any opinions that G and I express during these videos are in no way representative of what Penguin Random House's imprints or its clients. Um, and it's also want to direct you to our not just our YouTube channel, but also our Instagram, PRH Comic International, PRH International Comics. Sorry, almost got it wrong. So please go there to find like latest news, covers when they come right out from our publishers. So go there, follow us, and see you next week. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye everyone.
Bye.